What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. You guys probably thought we were never going to upload again to this channel. That's on you. That's a dramatic reaction. Obviously, we were going to upload again. We have a video today where we're going to be talking about Kylian Mbappe. You guys probably felt this video coming if there was going to be a video. My life has been consumed with streaming. So, we're here for a video today. We haven't missed too much in the football world. I've been keeping up. I've had all the games on as I've been streaming. I just haven't really had reaction videos. So, apologies on that, guys. I know some of you guys really like this channel. And I appreciate you guys, man, that tune into this channel. I've had a lot of fun with this channel, man. Like, just uploading and seeing the comments from you guys and just giving takes and talking about situations. I personally love it, man. It's the future for me. And thank you guys for supporting, man, me on this channel. Like, I think we almost have 50,000 subscribers in this channel. That's so crazy to me. So I appreciate that, guys. Anyways, we're going to talk about Kylian Mbappe today. I'm very proud of Mbappe. It's not just yesterday. It's the recent run of games. I think he is on 6 goals in the last 3 games, which is just, phenomenal. We've been so critical about Mbappe on this channel because, for me, Mbappe is probably, take this out of context, whatever you want to take this, where you want to take this, I think he's the most talented player since Messi, Ronaldo. Just me personally, right? You don't have to respect my opinion. You could think your own opinion. That's okay. For me, what Mbappe accomplished at the young age that he was at the World Cup, what he has done over the years, and then I felt like we got to this point where Mbappe, why is he still at PSG? Why is he ghosting on the national team? What's happened to him? Okay, so this is really good to see, this run of form. And it's not even just the contributions, the goals, all that. I watched the Madrid game yesterday, all right? The runs this guy is making again, man. And not only the runs are back because we're seeing that Mbappe, he's playing the 1-2s, and him and Jude are really figuring out how to play with each other now because Jude, in my opinion, Jude Bellingham is one of the most underrated just 1-2 players in the world. Jude's football IQ is incredible. The way he always sees runners, something that you can't put on statistics, you can't put on anything other than you watch the game and you say, wow, this guy knows where his teammates are. He's like a floor general in basketball, man. This guy is brilliant, man. Some of these assists he's been having, he had that back heel to Rodrigo. It's not about Jude, this video. It's about Mbappe finding his way. It's about Mbappe adapting. And it's about Mbappe finding that fuel again for me, watching him, that he gives a crap. He's so good. When he's like playing like he is right now, he's been the best player in the world. Like the last couple games, he's been the best player again. And I'm watching the game yesterday, and it's the clinicalness, it's the finishing that's making the difference, right? Mbappe's always going to give you that electric speed. It's his understanding of where his teammates are. It's his understanding of what positions do I go take up. You know, the second goal for me yesterday was one of the best goals I've seen all season. And I know you're going to say, bro, it's not a bicycle kick, a full field. The way that Mbappe scored the second goal, and if you haven't watched the highlights, go watch it, all right? On the break, out of nowhere, instead of just running flat, instead of making a bad run, instead of peeling off, instead of stopping, he goes 0 to 100 already. Well, he's already in a 90 speed. He goes 90 to 200 on the highway, on the freeway, runs around for an overlap, receives the ball right away. The finish is perfect far post, and we're seeing that finishing again for Mbappe because we saw in the Euro, we saw in the beginning of the season with Mbappe, it's just something looked off, man. Everybody was like, what's up with this guy? You know, maybe it's fatigue over the years. Obviously, that catches up with everybody in any type of profession, whatever you're doing, but it's good to see Mbappe looking fresh, finding himself again. And honestly, guys, for the season that Madrid have had, I've watched a lot of games this season. They have not still, they're just starting to find their way. And I said, look, this is a similar situation to we've been talking about City, how City has to start taking some wins in their easier games. This is a schedule for Madrid's season that right now is a really important time for them to kind of make sure they get 3 points and find themselves as a team. I look at Real Madrid overall just as an all-star squad. You know, you look at this lineup they go out there with. Brahim Diaz is unbelievable, man. All right? Usually he's coming off the bench, that guy. Rodrigo, Jude. Let's look at all the players on Madrid's team. You know, I know they have players that are playing out of position. I know they're a little less deep than they used to be. Like, for me personally, all right, Tchouaméni, Courtois, Rudy, Valverde, Jude, Rodrigo, and Mbappe out of that starting 11 probably make it into any team in the world. And I would say Brahim Diaz probably makes it into most other teams in the world. I'm not sure if I mentioned Tchouaméni, but put him in there as well. Most of their team, it's just crazy. It's like watching an all-star game, but it's not always easy as that, man. And we've seen that from Madrid this season, a slow start. Look at where they are in the table now. 50 goals, 20 against. They've got, what, 4 points on Atletico. Barca wins today. They've got 7 on Barca. It's crazy to see how dominant Madrid is. All right, even in the seasons, they start off slow. They don't look great. They're finding their way. They got 4 in a row. And, you know, I think Mbappe is a huge catalyst of that, man. It's really good to see these guys play this way because they have incredible talent on the team. And for me, Mbappe was just such a disappointment. And even we were saying Mbappe was a disappointment with what? He had still 16 goals in 25 games, which is still, for most people, more than decent. More than decent, right? We've got other players in Europe getting commended right now for those returns. But it's Mbappe. We know what this guy is capable of. And that's why everyone holds him to that standard, because when he was winning the World Cup in 2018, all right, everyone was starting to put him on the same chance as Pele to go get that much international success, and he got close again in Qatar. So we'll see how France, I still want to see him play better with France because I was disappointed in summer, but it's nice to see Mbappe, 6 goals, hat-trick, just now 6 goals in his last 3. It's very nice to see him play that well. It's very nice to see Jude. It's very nice to see all these players in this team realizing, and they know this, obviously, we got to go on our team. Just pass him the ball, because Mbappe's putting the ball in the back of the net again, and it's really a nice sight to see just as a viewer. We look at Madrid's schedule up next, and this is what I'm saying. Brest is playing well in the Champions League, right? But, Espanyol, Leganes, Atletico Madrid, this is going to be the game of the season right here, because obviously, I'll tell you this, if Real Madrid wins this game, I don't know how they're losing the league, right? And we've gone from this situation this year with Real Madrid where we said, what the hell is going on with this team? We said, what the hell is going on with these guys? Barca's winning the league. A lot of you guys in the comments were saying, relax, relax, relax. And you guys are right, because it looks like right now, Barca's not winning the league. If you're a Barca fan, your best chance is the Champions League. But Real Madrid's starting to find themselves looking a little better. I still don't think they go out there and put in the best performances all the time, but recently they've really picked it up. Look at the rest of the season. They're going to see Athletic Club, which is not an easy one, but one time Barca, one time, Atletico, and this Atletico game is a massive game. If they can continue to win, if they win the next La Liga game and, they beat Atletico, that's going to give them some serious separation in the table, which is going to be nice. So they've really turned their season around. I think Champions League wise, they're in an all right spot. A win next week would be obviously very nice. A win next week in the Champions League, by the way, everybody, most likely gives them a very high spot in the knockouts, a 9-10 spot, which hopefully they wouldn't have to play Man City, but also they still have a chance. They have a chance to get 100% into the top 8. They're playing Brest next week, so Brest is ahead of them in the table, and they can move ahead of them. The question mark for me, you have players like Mbappe and Vini, right? Some of these games we've been seeing Mbappe go crazy, like yesterday. The last question is that Vini is not out there, right? So can these two players, because, we've seen teams like this in the past where you just have two, I would just put them as X-Factor players, both Mbappe and Vini, if they, I don't know if they're both going to end up winning a Ballon d'Or in their lifetime, but they're both Ballon d'Or level players, right? You don't always have that situation where similar position as well, both in the attack on the same team. So that is still a question mark for me with Real Madrid. I think we've seen spurts of this season. They both look fantastic. Can we get Mbappe and Vini in the same lineup, finding their way together and looking unselfish and finding a way, man? We want to consistently see that for the rest of the season. For me, will be the question mark, because ultimately in a big game, right, the both of them are playing together. All right, there's not going to be, right, in the league they have this luxury, right, where one of them plays and it works out quite well, but they have to find a way in these big games, because obviously they're both going to play, to really, really find a way to get the results the way they're doing recently. But Real Madrid, for me, like, super impressive. I was a bit wrong about them this season. They've really found a way, and they're really impressive. I think the one thing with Madrid that, we'll say the last thing, I know this was supposed to be an Mbappe-specific video, but the last thing with Madrid that to me have been, really impressive, like, bro, not only did they get a clean sheet, right, they've hardly allowed any expected goals. And, like, yes, obviously the team they're playing, last place La Liga, right? But, bro, like, Tchouaméni for me is not a center back, right? Fullbacks, in terms of Madrid standards over the years, like, and they've got Ceballos in the midfield. Like, what they're doing, their team is, like, good. They have an all-star team, but then they have some players that people are like, yo, who invited this guy, So for me, like, Real Madrid is doing some really impressive stuff, and the credit is to them. And yeah, I'm really happy to see Mbappe, man. I saw some report that Ancelotti said he's going to be out after this season, so that was interesting. I don't know if there was any validity to that, so... Anyways, guys, we'll be back with some more videos on this channel. I appreciate you guys, man. Another video done. And, yeah, go Mbappe. 9.7. Let's go.